Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Drop-Off Show. I want to start off by saying thank you to everyone who has supported me in my journey in creating the show. I want to thank everybody who has subscribed to the show, anyone who's left a like, anyone who's left a comment. I appreciate it. Which brings me to say, hey, do your boy a favor. Help me get this show out there. Help me get the stories of my fellow UPSers out there by subscribing to the show and hitting the like button. I think the guys and gals that I work with are super dope individuals, and I think we all have great stories and personalities that everyone could rock with. I think everybody will vibe with us, and I really just think I work with some of the dopest people ever. And speaking of dope people, I got my boy CJ Lockhart coming on today to share some of his story, share where he comes from, share his experience here at UPS, and hopefully I'll put a good show together for y'all and y'all rock with it, man. So without further ado, let's get into it, man. The Drop-Off. So, all right, my boy, everybody, thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Drop-Off. I got a highly anticipated guest today, Mr. CJ Lockhart. CJ, thank you, my God, for coming through.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate you having me, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Feels
for
good.
Sure.
Got the opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to rise.
Mm-hmm.
So we here, man.
Man, everybody, those that know us both know, man, we supposed to have been did this.
Yeah, I know.
We are the OG Potters of the building.
You know what I'm saying? We got about 3 episodes floating around out there somewhere.
Somewhere. You know, it would be interesting to like look back, like we could find them and like see how they've done all those years later.
Right.
We probably at least got one of them that's like done super numbers.
You know what I'm saying? We got to check that out. I probably could find it somewhere. I got to just check my SoundCloud, check my emails. I could probably find it. You know what I'm saying?
Question with the SoundCloud thing.
Mm-hmm.
So when you did that, did they have like a limit on like how many episodes you could like put on there? Because I went to go do it, right?
Right.
They were like, yeah, you got like an hour worth of time, and then after that you got to like pay some number now.
Right.
So I don't know if it was like that when you did it.
I think it was. I think I was only able to upload like 6-7 episodes or something like that. And then I had to do the pro version, but we only uploaded 3, so I didn't get that far. You know what I mean?
Okay. So yeah, that must have did some rearranging because they was like, listen, you got 1 episode,
right? And
then you got to pay me. So I was like, listen, we gonna find something else. Spotify and YouTube, I guess it is.
Right. Shit, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, man.
Right. So okay, CJ, let's get started, man. So everybody, listen, y'all know I have revamped the show. And we are doing something a little bit different. So, CJ, first question, my guy.
What's up?
Who did Chris Lockhart think he was going to be when he grew up? Did he think he was going to be did you think you were going to be a UPS driver growing up?
No, I didn't. My first one, I was going to be in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? But then I stopped growing. You know what I mean? Stopped growing. So I'm like, all right, well, that ain't looking too good, you know what I'm saying? But then I got nice, man, with the lyrics, writing. You know what I mean? Started recording a lot of songs, and I was like, man, I'm about to be a rapper. I'm about to be a famous rapper around here. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And you know, one of the things that's interesting about you, man, is everybody who's got a friend who does music, right? Like, because it's rare to have like people who are really good at music. It's rare. It's not a very common thing. That's why there's only so many rappers, so many singers, right? So usually I remember growing up, and then people would be like, "Hey, listen to what I did," and then you have to lie to them and be like, "Listen, dog, this is good, but you know, like you have to like give them whatever little excuse. You gotta like show them fake love, like, oh yeah, dog, this was good."
Right.
But I remember literally hearing your stuff and being like, oh damn, this is good.
Right.
Like, hold up, he can really rap though.
You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that, man. That was nice. I still am. You know what I'm saying? I just my direction is just different. You know what I'm saying? At first I was like, man, I gotta get signed and you know, just waiting on somebody to discover me instead of just like, man, just just do what you love to do. And, now we at an age where you don't need nobody to discover. You can just put it out on your own, and if it catch fire, catch fire. But I still do a little something here and there, man. I ain't give it up like that. I mean, it's a gift that I'm always going to have, so I keep at it. I'm not looking at it like I'm finna blow up or get famous or nothing like that, but, just a few songs here and there, uploading on one of these platforms, man, just to make myself feel like I got something out there, and that's it, you know what I'm saying? Sure.
Okay. I do want to know about being an artist a little bit, though, because the people that I do know that are artists, you guys have something in common.
Right.
Highly intelligent and very creative, right? So tell me a little bit about, like what it's like being in that creative mental space. Because I'm assuming like one thing I do know, and for the homies that hear this, y'all will know too, we'll just be like on the phone and we out delivering, and then you just bust down some bars real quick, real quick. So tell me about being in the artistic mind space.
It's tiring, you know what I mean? But meaning, you're always looking for a creative way to express your perception on anything, on life or anything specific. Just always trying to find that, how can I express this in a creative way? And I mean, especially writing, lyrics is just like, all right, well, pretty much everything that's been said has been said. So how are you going to say it in your way to make it interesting to like the listeners, you know what I'm saying? But it took me a while to really understand that I was doing it for me instead of doing it for everybody else, so who was going to listen, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like I always felt like I had to say something to impress whoever was going to listen instead of just being comfortable at, how I felt about it, you know what I'm saying? And just being like, however they interpret it is whatever. This is how I feel. This is my art. This is how I understand it. I mean, if they don't get it, then they don't get it, you know what I'm saying? So it took me a while to get into that space, but once I was there, it became like unlimited. You know what I mean? Like I had no more walls, you know what I'm saying? So, but I like it, man. I mean, the creativity comes out in just other ways. Like now that I kind of put the music behind me, there's other like vessels that I kind of tap into to kind of express that, in other ways. But the music is always going to be that first love, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Because I do know if you're a creative person or you're an artist, something like that, like usually if you're that type of creative artistic person, it's not just in one field.
Right.
It's in everything.
Right.
So it doesn't matter if you make music, you make pottery, you paint.
Right.
You're creative in something else besides that too.
Right.
So I just would imagine that, because I'm somewhat creative, but not like in a music or like a musical type of way.
Right.
But I do find myself like even with the show, like, all right, well, how can I create a better show? How can I figure out a different way to ask questions?
Right.
Or with my clothing line, how can I find, like what's a new dope shirt I can create?
Right.
What's a new look or, stuff like that. So I know for myself, it's like in anything I'm doing, like I'll be out delivering and like, the way I just delivered the package and then went away from the door, like, oh, ding dong, this professional. I need to throw that on the shirt right now, which I did. That's coming soon. Y'all gonna see that. It's fire. Wait till y'all get that. That's about to be on sale soon.
Okay.
But
yeah, man. I mean, because you gotta think about it, man. I mean, we're all unique in our own way, so there's gonna be something that you can do that nobody else can do. You know what I mean? And once you tap into that, you know what I'm saying, then that's the creative art right there. You know what I mean? Is how you can express yourself in a way that hasn't been done before because there's nobody like you. You know what I mean? So that's it.
So something interesting about you that I would like to know about is growing up in Chicago, man. I want to know about that because when I got here to this job, right? And you get along and then you get in the building and then you start making new homies and stuff like that. You get to you learn that some of your partners is from different places, right? So then I always thought it's interesting to me because I'm from LA, I'm from California. You from Chicago. Taurus is from Louisiana, and I definitely got like Alan and Q, both two LA dudes. But it's always like interesting to me when I sit back and think about like, man, like my boys is from different places. So like I would never thought like one of my closest homies is like from Chicago. Right. How did me and him end up like rocking so tough, and he from a whole nother land with completely different experiences. Right. So tell me a little bit about growing up in Chicago.
Man, I mean, I pretty much had closest to a picture perfect childhood you can have out there, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my pops. All the ideas that come with being from Chicago, I didn't really have that around me. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, someone's like, oh man, you from Chicago. It's like, I remember one dude on the route, this cat, I forgot his name, but on a Hearnsville route, he was like, yo man, you from Chicago? You got any bullet holes in you? And I looked at him like,
no.
What's that supposed to mean? You know what I'm saying? Like I was climbing trees and throwing apples at people. You know what I mean? Like, shit. It was just I had a good childhood, man. My pops did what he had to do to keep me from out of that, because it wasn't too far though. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like it was far from where I was at, but all I was doing was just going to school, hooping, and being a kid. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then I was out of there by 17. So I came out here and finished my last year of high school, you know what I'm saying, 2000, and been here ever since. I've been here longer than I've been in Chicago. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I asked Al, right? I asked Al this question because somebody asked me this question, right? Because, after talking to him, they ended up telling him, like, I thought I was going to be in the NBA. There's all these dudes that I know in the NBA and stuff. And he was like, well, do you feel like disappointed that you didn't end up getting there, right? And I had never been asked that before, and I had to like sit and think about it for a minute. But by that time, I was already, I had already lived here in the house I'm at now. I already had the car that I got now, so I was already like, I'm Geechee right now. I'm super good right now. So I had never really thought about it. So then thinking about it, I was like, man, things didn't turn out how like I wanted them to turn out originally, how I thought it was going to be. Right. But I'm very pleased with the results of like where I ended up landing. Right. So how do you feel about like your landing place right now?
I feel good, man. I mean, there's always that perception from a balanced standpoint, you know what I'm saying, where it's like, well, I could be better, but then you observe where you're at compared to a lot of other people, and you're like, man, I'm pretty good, you know what I'm saying? But I like the position that I'm in. I'm here, especially now, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still here. So that perception probably changed within the last four weeks than it would have before, you know what I'm saying? Just because I have another opportunity to make what I want, Right. But ultimately, man, I got a supportive wife, beautiful kids, you know what I'm saying? Everything that I could ever want, I have, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm good where I'm at, but I still strive to hit that next level. I'm always looking for room to improve, you know what I'm saying?
I understand that.
You can't get comfortable, because comfortability creates complacency, and you can't be complacent in a world that's always turning, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. You stand still in a world that's moving, you're going to get mowed over like fresh grass, bro. That's what's going to happen to you.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we here.
Okay. So, tell me about your journey to becoming a UPS driver. How did that end up being the spot, the placeholder for right now? How did that end up happening?
I kind of got pushed in the position, man, actually, It's crazy you said that, because I was kind of listening to Peterson's interview, and the way it happened for him was very similar, I told you, I feel like Peterson's like the white version of me, you know what I'm saying, after hearing that, right? Shout out to Peterson, man, what's up? But yeah, man, I was just somebody who needed a job at that point, I remember I was in the car with the homies, we was listening to some music. This was like around Christmas 2002, And one of my boys he got hired on as a helper, and he was like, yo, man, UPS is hiring, you know. Why don't you go ahead and give him a call or whatever? So he gave me a number to call, and it was weird because the way I filled out the application was over the phone. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just asked me a whole bunch of questions, and like 1 for yes and 2 for no. You know what I'm saying? So I did that, and then they didn't call me back till February 2003, and it was Erlinda. And she was like, yo, you know what I mean? You can come in for an interview. So I came in, and then I filled out the app while I was there, you know, a physical form or whatever with all my information. And she hired me right after the season was over. And, you know, I've been there ever since, man. 2003, February. Okay. February 17th, Michael Jordan's birthday. You know
okay. See, Al also did something that you just did. Mm-hmm. That only people like super OGs are going to know how much of an OG you are. Mm-hmm. I have no idea who that lady is in HR that you just said. Al said Millie. I had no idea who that was. I was like, who? I'm like, bro, I know Hilda and LaToya and Janelle. Right. That's my HR. Mm-hmm. All right. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know the previous people. So let them know, by the way, how long you've been here.
I'm coming up on 20 years. Man, this February it'll be 20 years. You know?
Woo!
Don't even feel like it.
You don't look like it.
Don't even feel like it.
More importantly, you don't look like it. You still look like you maybe 30.
You know, so I've been doing that for. I did that from 2003 to 2006. I was in the unload, and 2005 is when I started part-time air driving. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I wasn't doing nothing but going in at 6 o'clock in the morning. I go get a truck, go to the airport, because we used to pick up the air straight from the airport. And then we'd go deliver the EAMs, and I'll come back to the warehouse, pick up the next day air that all the drivers dropped off that they couldn't get off, run that till about 10:30, but I'd stay out till about 11:30, you know what I'm saying, and come back, and that was my shift. That was it. You know what I mean?
This sounds like the best job in UPS history.
Yeah, that was nice, man, because it was still making like half of what the drivers made. And then, just like Mike said, you touch a ground package, your whole day was top rate, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And sometimes they'll have you stay out a little later, but that was it, man. I did that for a while until they got rid of the position, and then I went back to the warehouse, but I still had my driving day on Saturday. So I worked Tuesday through Friday in the warehouse in the unload, because I wouldn't load no trucks, man. That shit was crazy. And then I would just drive. On Saturday, I had the strip, so my Saturday was smooth, you know what I mean? I just had one half of the strip, Fashion Show Mall and the Caesars Forum Shops Mall was on the route. I was in there kicking it, you know what I'm saying? So then I was doing that, and then so I just started noticing everybody around me just started becoming drivers, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, man, like, what I'm going to do? I'm just going to just keep doing this, you know what I'm saying? And some things was happening in my life that was kind of pushing me to be like, hey, man, you got to do something extra. You can't just keep doing this. So I gave the driving a shot, you know what I mean? The first time I gave the driving a shot, it was 2007. That's when Donald was center manager for Tropicana Center, the South Building.
Okay.
And, man, he was on me, man.
He wasn't having it?
Man,
y'all wasn't vibing?
He was on me, man. I don't know what the issue was. I'll come in the building, and, like, as soon as I pull the truck in the building, he walking next to my truck. Like, as soon as I park, open up the doors, and let me see what you got going on in here. I'm like, damn, Donald, give me a break, man. Jeez, you know what I'm saying? But I was doing that for, like, 3 months, and then he fired me for some bullshit. And came back, I was like, man, fuck that driving shit. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that shit, you know? And then I gave it another shot, man, back in 2013, you know what I mean? I was like, you know, let me do it. I started having kids. Things was changing, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you know what? Let me give it another shot, man. So I came over to the North Building. That's when I transferred. And then all of a sudden, Russ was center manager at the time. And then all of a sudden, Russ retired. Here come Donald again. I'm like, man, is this cat, is he following me or what? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? But it was a much smoother Donald to deal with, even though a lot of people would disagree. But
you knew the Donald from before.
Yeah, I knew the Donald from before. That wasn't what we was dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So.
And you know what's interesting? You said something interesting. You was like, and then he fired me. This is the only place I know there's been, bro, I don't got enough hands and toes to count the number of people that I know that have been fired and then rehired.
Yeah.
Bro, that happens all the time here.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought once you got fired, that means like you was gone. Like, no, that ain't how this company gets down.
Right.
Listen, we're going to sit you down for a couple weeks, maybe a month, and then you'll be back.
Yep.
So then when like new dudes be like, oh man, I think I'm about to get fired. I'm like, all right, man, well, you going to be back.
You'll be back.
Just, you be back. If they fire you, though.
The cold part was I was on working termination, so I was fired but still working.
Yeah, that always, when I first heard that used to always mess me up. I was like, listen, if y'all going to fire me, I'm not about to work.
Right.
I'm just fired.
Right.
Okay? And then one of the OGs had to explain to him, like, nah, man, you want that to happen.
Right.
If that's how you got to go. Because you on working termination, meaning you're going to get fired, but they going to bring you back, though.
Right.
All right? So I was like, all right, I guess.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
So I want to know about some of the people that you've met along your journey that have, like, help you become successful and help you last 20 years here. Like, who have been some of the guys that have influenced you?
That's a good question. I mean, man, there's a. I mean, I pick up influence from everybody. You know what I mean? Every little piece, even if they don't know it. You know, I mean, just hearing other people go through certain situations, you just learn from everybody. You know, but I mean, there's some key guys. I mean, Foster was one of them because I met Foster before I even met him at UPS.
Oh, okay.
Because he did an interview when I was coming out with one of my mixtapes for his show.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. It was me and a cat named Mark. He works at the South Building in the Unload. But we was doing music together, and he had Foss come through, and he did like a little interview for us, you know what I'm saying? And then I ran into him at the company, you know what I'm saying? But if I have to say that my real big influence really came from managers and supervisors, really. You know what I mean? Like Pat Lynn was one of them. Man, there's a couple guys, I can't even remember their names, it's been so long. But yeah, man, I can't even jog my memory on that one. You know what I'm saying? It's just a collage of different faces and people in my mind. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to pull them out. You know what I'm saying? But
it's easy for me because I've only been, I'm working on year 11, so everybody's face is still like relatively new.
Right.
I guess you could say that's still like relatively recent.
Right.
And like you said, you've been there, dog.
Right.
So that's so many people. Because I know how I feel being here for 10 years, right? And like, damn, double that?
Right.
Woo. Right. All right.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy because all those people that I would name probably would come like within the first 6-7 years. You know what I mean? But after you've been there for a minute, everything's kind of on cruise control, and then people hitting you up for advice. You know, you become a mentor for a lot of people.
Yep, I just hit that phase myself.
You know what I'm saying? But as far as like, the people that we close to, you know what I mean, like a close ones that we see every day, we talk to every day, you know what I mean? Like I'm always picking up little things here and there, and it could be applied outside the job, you know what I'm saying? So I can't say that I haven't been influenced by anybody. It's just I've been influenced by everybody, if anything. You know
Right. Okay. So I do want to know, like, so how has your family impacted your motivation throughout your career here? So I was telling Al on the last episode, I was like, man, as soon as I had a son, as soon as I got the news, like, hey, J.Love, you about to be a dad, boop, switch went off.
Yeah.
And then ever since, like, my little man, Jonathan Love III, has been like the supreme motivation to just get up out of bed and like keep going.
Yep. I definitely had to say the same thing, man. As soon as my sons was born, that lit the fire under my ass. I can't keep doing the same thing, because my work ethic was horrible before then. I ain't never want to do nothing, or I barely wanted to do what I was supposed to, and then I wanted to go chill, go write some music. Like my focus wasn't at UPS at the time because I'm like, I'm not finna be here that long. You know what I mean? I didn't think it was gonna turn into a career until years later. But once my sons was born, that's when I knew, like, you know what, like, I'm already here within the company that can change my life. So let me make these steps and utilize this opportunity to kind of, use it as a stepping stone so I can provide for my family. Like, I didn't want my wife to work, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I wanted her to spend more time raising our son, you know what I'm saying? So that means I have to step it up, you know what I mean? But, yeah, you know, definitely family, you know what I'm saying? It's definitely the main goal. If I didn't have my family, I don't even know
if you be doing this job.
I'd be doing this.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Same here.
I don't know if I'd be doing this. I probably would have been trying to do something different just to save the wear and tear on my body. You know what I'm saying? But you know, there's no other place that's gonna really, as far as punching in somewhere, there's no other place that's gonna pay us the way that we get paid. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I got a whole bunch of homies that work other places, you know, and they just like, yeah, man, I'm making $26 an hour now. I'm making $29 an hour. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that's cool. You know what I mean? Because you know, I'm not finna down. You know, I'm not like, you know, I'm very humble about the position I'm in. You know what I'm saying? But in the back of my mind, I'm like, damn, man, like $41 an hour, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you don't even want to tell them that.
Yeah.
You know, because they don't expect that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. When they ask, it's like, yo, man, what you making?
Yeah. Except for on this show, this is the only time where I really like, you know, I'll put it out there and I'll be like, no, dog, I get it in real life. Yeah. But like out in the world, when like people start bringing up money and stuff like that, I always kind of shy away from it because I don't want to be like, well, you know, I'm making like $120, $130
right.
a year and shit. Right. I don't want to say that, man. I don't want to seem like I don't know. I just don't like to. I don't want to make it seem. I never want to bring somebody else's other situation down,
right.
Because you know everybody's situation is different,
right.
And you know whatever you're doing in life, you should be proud of what you're doing,
right.
So I never want to downplay what nobody else is doing. So whenever somebody asks me, I just be, I do all right.
Right, yeah.
Except on the show. On the show, y'all should know we out here getting it, big boy style.
You know, because even just the mere fact of just mentioning it, they gonna feel a certain type of way anyway. You know what I'm saying? So even if you're trying to just be nice and be humble about it, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh yeah, man, you know, about $41 an hour. like, what? You serious? I'm like, yeah, man, you know, it's nothing, no, you know. But
I remember the only time like I actually like. Because I don't want to say I felt disrespected, but I don't know, I felt some kind of way, dog. The Amazon dude was like, he was like, yeah, man, what you out here doing? You making like $19 an hour, right? Doing this. I was like, oh, man. I was like, what did you just say to me, man?
Yeah.
I was like, nah, man.
That's funny.
He was like, oh, damn, y'all getting this, so like 20, 25? I was like, listen, man, nah, it's 41.67. All right?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then, you know, like when you tell somebody that, like you see they whole face switch up.
Right.
Like, hold up, dog, I do kind of what you do. I'm like, keyword, kind of.
Right.
It ain't the same, but it's similar, but it's not the same.
You got AC in them trucks, homie.
Yeah, 100%.
Somebody pulled up on me at the UPS store like that, man. He was like, yo, man, you can quit UPS and come to Amazon. I was like, y'all make $41 an hour? Draw dropped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, shut his ass all the way up.
That's what y'all make? He was like, never mind. You know what I mean? I had to stun on him, too, just because of the way he came at me with it. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, man, you should just quit doing what you're doing. I'm like, y'all make $41 over there, dog. You know what I'm saying? Go mind your business, man. Go play somewhere. I'm busy. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, man, you got to flex, man. You know what I'm saying?
He said, go play somewhere. I'm busy.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to flex, man. You know, it ain't often, but you know.
That shit was hilarious.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I know what you mean.
You know?
I know what you mean. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, man. So, all right. So I'm about to ask, man, because everybody at the building has been asking me. They've been like, hey, J.Love, when you gonna get CJ on so that he can talk about it?
Right.
Like we want to hear from the boy himself, man.
Yeah.
So first of all, let the people know what happened.
Well, I mean, hey, you know, had a heart attack on the job. You know what I'm saying? Survived. We here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the series of events, man, was crazy though, man. You know what I'm saying? It was just crazy because I didn't know what was happening initially. You know what I mean? This is about, you know, we leave the building about like 9:10.
Mm-hmm.
So about an hour into the shift, that's when I started noticing these sensations that was just different. You know what I mean? And first they started in my arms, you know what I'm saying? I started feeling like this numbness in my arms, but I just thought it was like from anxiety or just anxious. I just wanted to shake them, you know what I'm saying? Like, felt like something was crawling in my blood or something, you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to stretch my arms, you know what I'm saying? And then I just kept sweating. I was just sweating crazy. I'm like, man, why am I sweating? It ain't even that hot, you know what I'm saying? So I moved from the stop that I was at when I initially felt those, and I moved to Petco, you know what I'm saying? And I got out, went to the store, made the delivery, but I just noticed I was real tired, you know what I'm saying? Like moving slow, just dragging ass, you know what I mean? So I got back in the truck, and I was getting ready to pull out the packages for my next stop for Supercut. It was a suite right next door, you know what I'm saying? So I'm pulling the dolly out, but I'm moving real slow, and it feels odd. Because I was just fresh just a minute ago, but now I'm moving slow. I'm kind of fatigued, you know what I mean? And I just had a strong urge to go to sleep, man. I was like, man, I want to pull these boxes out and just go to sleep, you know what I'm saying? But these thoughts was just weird, you know what I mean? I'm like, why do I feel like this? So I called the soup, and I was like, yo, man, I don't know what's going on, but I don't think I can keep working, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? He was like, well, what's wrong? I'm like, man, I don't know what the fuck's wrong. You know what I'm saying? I just know I'm not feeling right. You know what I'm saying? And as I was telling them this, it was like I was like losing breath. Like I was real like huffing and puffing in between like each word. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, yo, man, maybe you should go chill out, take a break at the UPS store or whatever. You know, he's like, I know it's not heat exhaustion because it's not hot. And, you know, he's like, just go chill. But I was like, nah, I can't go chill, man. Like, I've been trying to get my composure. I know when I start feeling certain things, there's a moment where I'm like, man, can I get myself together? But I felt myself slipping. Like, I couldn't grasp what was happening, you know what I mean? So I was just like, yo, man, I think I need to go to the hospital. And that's crazy that I'm even telling you this right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I said. Like, because that's the last thing that we feel like we need to do, you know what I'm saying? But I was feeling so strange. I just knew like I had to go to the hospital, man. So he was like, all right, sit tight. They called the ambulance. The ambulance came. You know, then when they got there, you know, he was asking me questions. And at that point, I was slurring my speech. Couldn't even like say what I was trying to say. You know what I'm saying? And they put me on the stretcher, put me in the back of the ambulance. And dude hooked me up to the computer or whatever. And he was just like, yeah, man, like you having a heart attack right now. You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't even grasp the weight of what he said to me. You know what I'm saying? And like I was just so out of it at that point. Like I was just like, man, I can go to sleep right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm laying down, on the stretcher. I'm like, man, I could just close my eyes and just go to sleep. Like I know he just said heart attack, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, you know what I mean? I kind of like woke up on the operation table, you know what I'm saying? And that's when they was doing what they was doing. And, they just kept telling me, like, you got to be still, you got to be still. But I was so cold, dog. I was shivering. That was probably the most uncomfortable I've felt in a long time, you know what I'm saying? And they just kept telling me to be still, because they was putting the catheter in, you know what I'm saying, and putting in the heart stent, you know what I'm saying? So they put the heart stent in. And then next thing you know, I look at the clock, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, yo, where the hell time go? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was out of it for that whole time. And then, I was in ICU for, like, the next day. And from Friday, I was out Friday evening. You know what I'm saying? So I went in Thursday at about 10:30 a.m., and I got out Friday evening. And been recovering ever since, you know what I'm saying?
So I remember when I got the news. It was crazy at our job is word travels super fast, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like you couldn't. It wasn't long after your situation had just happened, right? So like I'm pretty sure you probably was like on your way to the hospital when I had found out because it was early in the day. I don't even think it wasn't even 11:30 yet. Right. So Wilborn called me, and then he told me, he was like, hey man, CJ just had a heart attack. And I was like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Right. Bruh, like people that don't know you, people don't know, bro, you super young still. Right. Like people don't know you super young. You don't drink. You don't smoke. You like the epitome of health. Like everything about you is like tip top A1. So when Wilborn told me, I was like, bruh, first of all, is he all right? And then two, I'm like, there's no way.
Right.
There's no,
I still can't believe it.
Yeah, I'm like, nah, there's no way that's what the fuck just happened to him.
Right.
Right? So then I remember immediately after, right, I hung up the phone with Wilborn, so mad at the job. I was just mad at this place.
Right.
Like, y'all got us out here stressed out every day. So people, there's a reason why it's 4167 and there's all these tremendous benefits is because we're put under so much stress mentally and physically that over long periods of time, and like y'all just heard him say, he's been here for 20 years. So there's been such a compounding effect of stress with this job that sometimes motherfuckers just be young and have heart attacks.
Right.
And it was just, I just remember my mom being blown and just being like, I remember being scared for you and being super mad at our job, dog.
Yeah.
That's what I remember.
Yeah. Them thoughts was crazy, man, because that was the first time I really had them thoughts where I was like, I'm out of here. You know what I mean? And I kind of had that feeling too where I'm like, right here on the truck, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is how I go. You know what I mean? Like everything that I have done, you know, everything that I was maybe like worried about or just, you know, everything just didn't matter anymore at that point. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, yo, man, what was it all for? Like, I'm about to go out. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, should I call my wife? But I didn't, you know what I mean? I didn't want to. She was like, why didn't you call me? You know, because I didn't want to scare. I didn't even know what was happening yet. You know what I'm saying? I just knew, like, I felt like I was slipping away. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, and it's not like I'm like always mentally stressed out, you know what I'm saying? But it shows, like, you know what I'm saying, how your body can take on stresses that you may not even be aware of, you know what I'm saying, especially over time, you know what I mean?
Right.
You know, because on the truck, it's like we're constantly chasing time. We're always, like, on the go, you know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, if you're not getting an adequate sleep, if you're not eating correctly, it's going to catch up at some point, you know what I'm saying? Even though if you feel like you're perfectly healthy, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, you know.
Right. Well, people, hold on one second. Let me get these squealing puppies real fast. Y'all, please hold. All right, boom. Everybody, sorry for the break. Thank you for holding, even though to y'all it was like we was never gone. Okay, so, CJ, I do want to ask you, okay, so being in that space of what just happened and then you having to take time off, what has happened to, like, your mental space as far as the job, where you want to take your life, the value that has, like, presented itself to you? Like, I'm pretty sure, like, since this happened, certain things have, like, been, like, real up close and personal in your face, like, oh, this is way more valuable than I thought it was. So what kind of mental changes have you gone through?
Oh, man.
Now I hear these motherfuckers eating now. I can't win, y'all.
It's all good, man, you know. Let them live, you know what I mean? But no, man, it just really put things in perspective about what I've been doing, you know, the routine, what we deem as normal, you know what I mean? Because I keep saying, like, yo, man, I just wish I can go back to what's normal, you know, because I felt like I've been, like, pushed out of my element. But that really makes me feel like, well, what is normal? You know what I'm saying? And what you've been doing, is that really normal? You know what I'm saying? You know, the repetition, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's important? Like, everything that I was worried about, or, you know, what I was focused on really just kind of just dissipated, because it was just like, if I would have been out of here, none of that shit wouldn't even have mattered. So why does it matter now that I'm here? You know what I'm saying? So it really made me not give a fuck about a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, and just kind of just take it day by day. You know what I mean? Except like my family and shit. Like, really, you know what I mean? The way my wife's been supportive through this whole thing, man, it's like, even our relationship kind of changed through it all. You know what I mean? Because it's just all the stuff that maybe meant a lot of before don't mean anything now. You know what I'm saying? And it really pushed us like
closer, I imagine.
Yeah, just to see things more clearly. You know what I'm saying? You know, because you take things for granted. And you're just like, you know, I'll just do it tomorrow, or you know what I'm saying, or we'll just get to it later. You know what I'm saying? But when something gets pulled from under your feet that quick, you know, you realize that you don't have time for later anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it just kind of just made me just want to just do everything in the moment. You know what I'm saying? Just whatever. You know what I mean? Like if I tell myself like, nah, I'll just do it tomorrow. I'll be like, yeah, but tomorrow might not come. Then I just get up and just do that shit like right now. You know what I'm saying? And I always had that mentality before, but you know what I'm saying? It just forced me to really like apply this shit now. You know what I'm saying? Because man, like it can happen in the moment. You know what I'm saying? Like everything that I felt in that truck happened in the window of 10 to 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Which is like the time before that was regular. You know what I'm saying? But and it just made me feel like, you know, it just made me reflect on like how much time I've been spending away from my family, like just how focused I was on the job to where it almost felt like I was pushing my family back secondary. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to do that anymore. You know what I'm saying? You know,
I get it because I remember talking to you about because people listen, CJ is one of my OGs, man. He's not just like my friend in real life, but as far as the job is considered, he is like legit one of my OGs. He's taught me a tremendous amount of stuff. So I remember, you know, whenever I would have like frustrations in my relationship and stuff, and I would like tell you, and this is also one of the reasons why I used to be like, hey man, CJ, fuck you, man, because you always like taking the, you always got to be so understanding. J.Love, you got to look at the other side of it. Right. But I would tell you like, man, my girl's always saying I don't spend no time with the family because I'm always at work, I'm always gone. And then you would be like, yeah, J.Love, you always gone. Like you got to, you know, like I understand what you're saying, J.Love, because you like, hey, you got to do this because you got a family to support and all that. But don't be so ignorant to not be able to put yourself in somebody else's shoes and realize there's truth in what she's saying too. Right. I'm not saying you spending all this time at the job isn't the right thing to do. It's not what you have. It's not because you definitely have to do it. But also, you know, there's cause and effect, man. So you being gone for so long, the people that care about you are gonna feel like, you know, they don't get your time. Right. So that's gonna show up in the things that they say to you and stuff like that. So, you know, I was just, you know, it was just one of them like humbling moments, like especially always like a lot of times I'll talk to you, I end up being humbled by like you because you know you're a little bit older than me. So then like I feel like sometimes I'll say young ignorant shit, and then you come in as like the Yoda, like, hey, but you gotta, you know, calm down, calm down. You gotta chill out, young whippersnapper. Yeah, all right.
You know what I mean? It's like, hey man, it's all perspective, man. The whole game of life is perspective, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's just how you perceive things, you know. It's like, even with the job, man, it's like, you know, a lot of us can complain and just be like, man, you know, fuck UPS. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't like how they treat me like shit and all this. But it's like, but they allow you to have a certain lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? And you could have chose to do something different, you know what I mean? Because this is how I'm reflecting, you know, on the whole situation. Because it's like, if I could go back, you know what I'm saying, I probably would have tried to do something different to free up more of my time, because I feel like time is like the flex, you know what I mean? If you got time and you're still able to handle your responsibilities, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's like where I probably would want to be, but I've spent so much time within the company, it's almost like, you know, it'd be foolish to just throw it away and try to start from scratch, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes I want to, you know what I mean? Especially after the situation that happened, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'm like, yo, am I going to go back to doing what I'm doing? You know what I mean? I got this heart stent. Like, my health is really, you know, at the forefront of my life right now. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to put myself in the same situation that got me here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that, you know what I mean, it's strictly from the job. Like, who knows? Like, you know, nobody can really know how I had the heart attack. You know what I'm saying? But it really makes me just put things in perspective. Like, all right, man, like, what do you want to do for the rest of your life? You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, man, those answers don't come up quick, so you kind of just take what's in front of you. You know what I'm saying? But we got people in our corner, man. Like, no matter what decision that we choose to do, we got people that love us. They're in our corner. And even though we're here on the gig spending this time away from them, it's like we gotta remember who's important to us, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We can't let the job be the priority over our family. You know what I'm saying? As hard as that is sometimes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I definitely want to say, man, so happy, dog, that you good.
Yeah.
And man, it was so many of us that was tripping out, man. And as soon as we all got the news that you was good, like, we all breathed like a sigh of relief. Like, all right, man, they didn't take our friend, dog. Our friend is still here.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, man, just.
I feel fortunate, man. I feel very fortunate. You know what I mean? I always had like this feeling of just having this luck on my side, man, and hopefully that I continue to carry that with me. You know what I'm saying? But even the doctor was just like, "Yo, man, it's a miracle that you're here, because a lot of people don't come back from that." You know what I'm saying? And even the way that he had to put the heart stent in the artery, it was a difficult location for him to even get it in there, where he didn't even think he was going to be able to do it. That's what he told my wife. You know what I'm saying? And but the moment that he tried to position it where he needed to position it, it had no problem. You know what I'm saying? Just went right where it was supposed to go. And I had the follow-up appointment. He was just like, "Yo, man, like, you're a miracle, dude." You know what I'm saying? And going through the situation, I didn't even really realize how close I was. You know what I mean? Like, I had them thoughts, you know what I mean? But I really didn't, like, know how close it was, dog. You know what I'm saying? Until hearing the conversations amongst the doctors and the staff after it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're really making me feel like I was, I'm not supposed to be here. You know what I'm saying? But I am, because I'm here. You know what I'm saying? So
You put that on a hoodie. I'm a miracle, dude.
You know what I'm saying? So something, man, but yeah, man. So I just, this opportunity I just got to make the best of it. You know what I'm saying? And I intend to do that. You know what I mean? Word.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's move on to something a little more lighthearted.
For sure.
And something I've always been meaning to talk to you about, right? Because how we met was doing routes in Chinatown, right? So something I think about whenever I have to, like, go back down there, like, say I'm about to just, like, go get some food down there, or it's on my way to like, somewhere I'm trying to, like, I like to go to Blueberry Hill.
Right.
So usually, the way I take to get to Blueberry Hill from my side of town, I end up, like, driving through Chinatown, right? Just because I like the vibe.
Yeah, me too.
Right?
Me too.
So, first of all, I want to speak on when I first met you. They sent, I was doing, what was that route name? Whose route was that? Showler. I was doing Showler's route, 95E, right?
Yeah.
And I hated it. And I remember, because this is when I was brand new.
Yeah. That whole area sucked over.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
So I this is like I'd already passed the class, my 30 days, but this was like immediately after that. So I had to, maybe a month and 2 weeks in. And they decided to give me like 200 stops on that route.
Right.
And that's like a 110 stop route.
Yeah.
So I remember they send you to come save me, right? And I remember you pulling up, and I'm like, who the hell is this dude? right here. Why is he so relaxed? Why does he have this big ass smile on his face? Like everything is just all peaches and cream right now.
Right.
And I remember you was like, oh man, just give me whatever you gonna give me, dog. It's cool. I just remember you being like a Chicago pimp. Like just everything was just smooth and cool. I was like, hey man, I don't know how I can get to that mind space in here, but eventually whatever he's got, that's what I have to get to. Because I remember specifically you and Thyman were like the two immediate cool dudes that I noticed. Right. So I remember I'm giving you some packages or whatever, and you would ask me, you was like, all right, man, you sure you gave me the right stuff? And I'm like, sure, because I don't know. Right. So then I remember delivering later on, and then we ended up in the same neighborhood, and I'm like, I'm a fucking idiot. I can't believe I gave him. I should have just gave him the rest of this. He's probably looking at me like I'm an idiot right now. And you wasn't even tripping. You just chunked the deuces like, what's up, dog? You good? Yeah. And just, kept rolling.
Man, on the low, man, I was kind of upset, man. Before I got to you. You know what I mean? I remember I was done with my route, and John called me like, man, we need you to go help this driver. I'm like, help who? What? What's his name? Love? Who the hell? Who the hell is John Love? You know what I'm saying? But I pulled up, and I felt the vibe, man. And I already knew that you was a cool dude. You know what I mean? I feel like I can read people pretty well. You know what I'm saying? Off the rip. And the vibe I got from you, man, was just like, this cat's pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? And I knew from that moment, you know what I'm saying? We said some things that,
let us know we was on the same page.
Yeah, and from there, man, we clicking ever since, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I remember that day.
So I want to talk about how only people who ever not just did the route, like one of the Chinatown routes, but were like you actually you did those routes, like you spent time down there, like months or years delivering those routes.
Yeah.
And talking to Cantu, he has the same experience. So being down there is like being in another world.
Yeah.
It's like being able to travel without traveling.
Yeah.
And I remember just being down there made me feel more worldly. It made me feel just like I'm in another world and being embraced kind of, because that was the interesting part,
right?
Especially as being a black man, right?
Right.
Is okay. So I'm in Chinatown and they messing with me.
Yeah.
So everybody's actually they're polite.
Yeah.
They're the people that can communicate with you. They're not shy. They're like, hey, well, what's up, man?
Right. Even if they can't communicate you, they try.
Yeah, they try. Right. And I always thought it was interesting when people would say oh man, they hate the route, but for the wrong reasons. Right. People would say, oh, I don't like the route because they just they feel like they're in a foreign place. I'm like, but that's the dope part about being down. The only part that sucks is it's a whole lot of business down there because they own a lot of shit. Right. So I remember me and you talking about how crazy it was. Me and you would be talking about worldly things, right? So I remember me and you talking about how dope is it and how in tune of a people they are, where they don't even have to advertise in English,
right?
They not even talking to y'all,
right?
We talking to us, and this is built by us for us, and we rocking with us, and then you see the success of the people down there,
right?
And then when they embrace you in there, it's I don't want to say that give you the game, but it makes you feel well shit, I'm a part of that community and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So then I know now when you have days off and stuff, you're like, hey, let's go to Chinatown. Let's just go kick it down there and stuff.
Yeah, I love Chinatown, man. I was just over there. I just told you about that
Korean
barbecue spot.
I know.
Fire, you know what I'm saying? But I used to do Cantu's route. That's how I know about Chinatown so much, man, because he take days off. I used to love his route because on paper it looked like it's heavy, but I was done with that route, man, about 2:30, 3 o'clock, and I had this extra downtime before I had to drop my air. So I would I keep hitting the mic, but before I drop my air, I would just go park the truck by the Chinatown Mall, go get me one of them little boba smoothies, you know what I'm saying, and just chill, man. Just park somewhere in the shade, just chill, It was nice, man. It was nice. But I still go there today, man. Still, you know what I mean? Like, any excuse that I can to get down there, I'm down there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
You know, because we went to the Asian market, Asian night market. It was like this spot in, where was that at? The community college about a few weeks ago. Crazy crowded, man. I got uncomfortable, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was probably like one of my first times I'm trying to get out after the accident, and it was just too crazy. So I'm like, man, but I still want to be around this vibe. So it was like, man, let's just go to Chinatown, man. So we went to Chinatown, hit the little barbecue spot. You know what I mean? I ain't eat no red meat, nothing I wasn't supposed to eat, though, you know what I'm saying? You know, but yeah, man, it was fun, man. It was fun.
Right, because I know there's I don't remember the fucking store name, but one thing I really like about the Asian culture is, bruh, they be fashionable. And people that know me, y'all know I'm a very fashionable guy. So there was a dude in there that like, he would make his own clothes, and all his stuff was A1.
Yeah,
was like, he killing Supreme. He's killing everybody.
Yeah, you talking about
because it's inside the Asian Mall. It's inside the Chinatown Mall. And I don't know, it's on the top floor up there. I don't know if it's still there, but that's where he was at.
Oh, man. I can't even think of the name, but I got a couple of his shirts, man. He gave me a couple of shirts.
So I wish me and him would have got cool like that. I wish we would have got cool like that, because I would have bought everything dude had.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't there yet where, you know, my money is stacked up yet. Like I said, I was, you know.
I checked him out recently, or fairly recently, after I've been off the route for a while, because I wanted to see how he was doing. And, man, he's charging like, he got like $1,000 gear up in there now. I'm like, oh, he stepped it up. He must be doing something nice, you know what I'm saying? Forgot the name, man. I'm going to have to get back to you on that name, because I got the shirt at the crib. But he had a warehouse that I used to do a pickup that was on, it was near Chinatown, but it was off of like Desert Inn on this other route that I would do pickups for him over there, you know what I'm saying? And he would just give me shirts, man, just on GP. But, man, what was his name?
Man, listen, we gonna find that dude, and then once I find dude again, bruh, I'm about to go ham in dude's store, because I got it now. Because I even remember before, like the prices, like you said, $1,000. Now even back then, he was charging like $200-$300 for a T-shirt,
right.
And I used to be like, all right, I understand that this is the flyest shit I've ever seen, but that's crazy, $300 for a T-shirt though. Yeah. But I understand now, like, you know, making clothes now, like, I understand why you get to charge like that.
Feature.
No, it's not feature. I know what you're talking about.
Oh, it wasn't feature?
It's not feature.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay. Okay. I definitely. Of course, I know feature.
Okay.
But no, it's a different dude, because he had the whole setup.
Right.
This is how like before. This how like I knew what a heat press was, and a fucking like the screen. He had the screen printing joint.
Right.
And like you go into his stuff, and he just have like clothes hanging everywhere that he had just like he in there. Like he's doing the art in there.
Okay.
Then he's like mixing the chemicals for like the screen print chemicals. Like he had the whole setup.
Okay.
And then you go in there, and then he just got fly shit hanging everywhere. And I'll be like, bruh, listen, this is like a fashion dude's dream right here.
Right.
Everything you doing in here.
I don't remember that cat then. I thought we was talking about somebody else. But the dude feature had a spot over there in Chinatown too, though.
Yeah, it was off Sahara. Yeah, that's off Sahara.
No, it was on. His store was on Spring Mountain, but the warehouse was on for Sahara.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Where was the store's on Spring Mountain?
Yeah.
No, okay, that might have been because I've only been to the store.
Okay.
I've never been to the warehouse.
Yeah, he had the store. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, boom. Y'all, hold on. Bear with me. Okay. So, I want to ask you about where you see yourself after you leave here, right? Especially because, you know, you've had the incident that happened, you know, the heart attack and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty sure that has come to a place where, like, it's put it in your mind, well, not only do I won't say you want this to be over with, but okay, the end goal or the journey of where you're trying to go has become like, damn, there's like a pinpoint focus. Mm-hmm. So where do you see yourself going? Like, where do you see, like, your experience with this job and being in this job? Where has it, like, for lack of a better term, where has it shot the arrow as far as, like, directionally in life?
In life, man, I just want to be around long enough to see my grandkids, man. At that point, that's a real life goal. That's probably like one of my only main focuses right now, man, is just being around to see my grandkids, dog. You know what I'm saying? Because that just almost got taken away from me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, you know, if we just talking about for in life, you know what I mean? I mean, within UPS, I really don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I'm scheduled to come back on the 7th of November. But there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that's going on that I don't even know if I'll be back that day or not. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, man, it's hard to look far in the future at this point for me, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, I'm just day by day. And the only goal I have in mind is just to be around long enough, man, to see my grandkids, man. And I knew that because I saw a picture of my buddy, and he was sitting on the couch next to his father and his grandfather. And I just got in the mindset of, like, I got in the mind of his grandfather and was just like, how dope would that be to just sit next to your son and your son's son as a grown man, you know what I mean? And immediately I knew that that's what I wanted in life, you know what I'm saying? And that's all I could really aspire to at this point, man. I mean, because everything else around that is going to fall in the place that it's supposed to be. So, I mean, instead of having this extravagant vision of where I see myself, I just chop all that down and just think about what's important for me to experience. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I want to experience, man. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know?
So what would you tell these new dudes coming up in here, man? Like, what kind of advice would you give these dudes? And I'm asking you that because, believe it or not, man, you know, rather you think about it, like, a lot of the conversations that me and you have had over this 11 years has helped me be here for 11 years. So whenever I get, you know, like you or Al on, like, because I asked Al, and I'm gonna ask you later too, but like, whether y'all see it or not, because you got to think about it. Like, so you was like, I don't know, you was maybe in like your late 20s or something, like when you was giving me game, right? And like, you wouldn't think like your 20-year-old self had really impactful stuff to say, especially now, you know, being the age you are. Like, damn, I was giving out gems, like when I was super young, like not even knowing I was saying things that was gonna help impact somebody else's life. So what would you tell these new dudes, man?
I mean, the main thing I would say, man, is don't let the job consume you, because it easily can. It can take a fork in your life, and everything that you want to do in life, you're going to have to work around the gig, man. And, like, specifically your family, you know what I'm saying? Because the gig will replace you, you know what I'm saying? But your son can't replace a father. Your wife can't, you know what I'm saying? She can't replace you, you know what I'm saying? You know, so just keep in mind of the importance of what's really important in your life. You know what I mean? Because the gig, man, I mean, it has its benefits. I'm grateful, you know, for the opportunity UPS gave me. You know what I'm saying? For all y'all supervisors and managers that's listening, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
They listen too, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, I'm grateful. You know what I mean? It's a good job. You know what I mean? But it can consume you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the third of your life. You know what I mean? But you can't forget about the people that really matter, that you really matter to. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I mean, you know, not to put them on blast, man, but, you know, like, I'm not, for the accident, I haven't gotten paid. You know what I'm saying? No workman's comp. They denied the workman's comp. You know what I'm saying? Which I think is kind of bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Trash.
You know what I mean?
I'll say that for you.
You know
They
what I'm saying?
assholes for that.
You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, I mean, how's a company expect me to come back? They want me to come back like nothing happened. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just either supposed to just get back on the truck like nothing happened, or I'm going to have to find something else to do because I'm taking my health, you know, more serious than, you know, trying to put myself back in them stressful situations. But if I don't figure it out, then I'm going to just have to go back doing what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? But UPS, like, you know, nobody called and been like, yo, you know, what's up? I mean, you know, Brad's been in my corner. Brad was there at the hospital. You know what I'm saying? He was there by my side, the whole nine. But at the end of the day, there's only so much he can do. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, that put things in perspective of, like, you know, how
they think about you, really.
How they think about you. You know what I mean? I put in 20 years with this company, and this is, you know, I have the situation that happened, and it's like they'd rather just brush it under the rug and act like it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, just value what's important and stay focused, and, you know what I mean, always strive to be better and take care of your body, man. Take care of your health, you know, because that shit'll catch up to you. You know what I'm saying? You know, especially when your body is going through stressful situations. Like I said, I wasn't mentally stressed. It wasn't like I was going through my day like, oh, man, this sucks and I hate my job and none of that. Like, I was cool. I had, you know, everything was cool. You know, my route was smooth. The people I interact with is cool. Like, mentally, you know, I mean, the only thing is, you know, it's like you just have so much time away from your family, but your body takes on stresses that you may not be aware of, and you just got to just make sure that you're not rushing it to an early grave, man. You know what I'm saying? Just take care of that thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's it, man. You know,
Okay. All right. So I do want to ask you, too, about some wild things you've seen while you've been out here. And I know people are probably tired of, everybody knows that we see babies in the street all the time by themselves. So anything besides that, what do you think, name something that's been wild that you would like, say you were just, like, you were driving and then, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
I got you. Nah, there was a situation that was kind of crazy that I didn't know how to handle, but, like, I was driving to one of my stops in the residential area, you know what I mean? As I'm pulling up to the house, I see this car coming from the opposite direction, right? And the driver's side door is open. And when it got closer, I noticed that somebody had their foot out. Like, you know how, like, you're on a bike with no brakes and you're trying to stop, so you put your foot out, you know what I'm saying, to slide your foot to slow down? It seemed like they was doing that with the car, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, what's going on here, you know what I'm saying? So they got past me, and then all of a sudden it was like somebody put the car in park while it was still moving, and it just stopped, right? So at this point, I'm getting out, I cross the street, I make the delivery, but I'm still kind of like looking to see how this is going to unfold. So I'm walking back to the truck, you know, and I look back, and it seemed like this girl was trying to get out the car, but whoever was in the passenger seat, like, I just seen his arm just come out and just snatch her up and bring her back in the car, right? So I'm like, ooh, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, at that moment, it's like, you want to help. That's your, like, first thing, but it's like, man, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't get involved. Like, I'm trying to get home too. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I kind of just hang around just to kind of see what's going on. And then she get out the car. Finally, she made it out the car, and she just started running, dog, as fast as she could, but she wasn't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? You know, she probably felt like she was running fast, but she was slow motion like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, she running, and she keep looking back at the car like she trying to get away from whoever's in the car. You know what I'm saying? So I turn around, and I'm like, you know, what he gonna do in the car? You know what I'm saying? I'm getting the license plate number and all that shit just in case, like, something happened or whatever. And you know, he pull up in the car, and he turn the car around, so now he facing me in the back of the, like, he's facing the direction I'm facing, you know what I'm saying? But he doesn't want to drive past me, so he's just kind of just staying there, you know what I'm saying? And I just, you know, oh, girl, she just kept running, you know what I'm saying? So I went across the street, made my delivery across the street, then I got in the truck, and then the dude drove off. So I pulled up next to her and was just like, yo, you okay? Like, you need a phone? Like, you know, just checking up to see if she's straight. And she was so scared, man, she didn't even want to talk to me. You know what I mean? She was so scared. And I was like, all right, well, I hope you straight, you know what I'm saying? I just kept going, you know what I'm saying? you know, and I didn't want to get, you know, it's like I wanted to help, man, but I'm like, man, I don't know what's going on. He might have a gun in there. You know what I'm saying? I might get shot trying to help somebody. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's kind of one of the craziest things I've seen. You know what I mean? It's probably more crazy than I just described it, but, I mean, I've seen a lot of crazy stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? But that's probably one of them. The most recent one I could recall. You know?
A woman trying to escape.
Trying to escape, man. Obviously, there was some domestic shit going on. But it was just crazy because I saw when the car was pulling up, she had her foot out. Like, she was just trying to stop the car. I'm like, what's she doing? Like, she got no brakes? She trying to Flintstone that motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But then when I saw dude's arm come out, that's when I knew, like, oh, somebody else in there. I couldn't see it when they drove past. You know what I mean? Like, the door wasn't open that big. You know what I'm saying? And then I was like, oh, there's some shit going on, you know what I mean? But I left it alone, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Mm-hmm. I do want to go back to how I just asked you about, like, advice for new drivers, right? Mm-hmm. It just came into my mind. I don't know why it did while you was talking about a woman fleeing for her life story.
Right.
But hey, listen, check this out, new drivers. I'm gonna put y'all up on some game right now. Mm-hmm. Y'all should always have a backpack. Right? And in this backpack, y'all should have a first aid kit, toilet paper, drawers, and an extra uniform, dog. I want to tell y'all that, all right? I'm going to tell y'all something real personal. There's no bathrooms out there sometimes, all right? And accidents happen. Y'all hold for a second before I get into the rest of this story. All right, sorry for the pause again, but I'm back, y'all. Like I said before, it was like nothing ever happened, all right? So back to where I was at, okay? Y'all need to have a backpack, toilet paper, drawers, and an extra uniform, okay? Mm-hmm. Because a lot of y'all know, sometimes y'all get stuck doing a route. There's no bathroom, okay? Mm-hmm. Anybody who's been doing this job long enough 100% has shit on themselves before, all right? I don't care what nobody says, all right? Everybody's got one of those stories, all right? So I'm going to tell y'all one of mine. I might have more than one, but I'll give y'all one just so I can be open with y'all so y'all know I'm a real person, all right? All right. Also, y'all, my boy Glenn is here, all right? He's next. He's next on the docket. So both of y'all know this route, so y'all know the area I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. So I was on Durango and Grand Teton.
Okay.
Up there by that dentist office. You know that dentist office, right? Off of Singleton's route, right? Mm-hmm. So everybody knows, man, sometimes, like, you know, y'all may have had something to eat the night before, or maybe y'all hit a Taco Bell or some sketchy ass place, but you hungry, so you just gotta eat something. You gotta knock something down. Mm-hmm. So y'all know how it is, man, where, you know, like, you gassy for the day. Mm-hmm. And then it's unfortunate, but sometimes it happens, man, where you think, man, I just got a little fart real quick. And then it happens and you like, no, that's not what that was. Mm-hmm. Then what just happened really just happened right now.
You're like, man, you need emergency tools after that.
So I remember, first of all, I was in panic mode. I was like, oh no, because I wasn't here long enough to know, like, hey, dog, you always got to have a backpack, right? Just like, you got to be like Kevin Hart in Jumanji. You got to be the backpack man. You got to have that. So first, I remember it was a whole bunch of shit running through my mind. I'm like, one, I can't call the office and tell them, hey, dog, I just had a blunder. I just shit on myself right now while I was out on the road.
They won't let that go.
No, not only would they say, hey, so what, keep delivering, it's about to be mad jokes back at the building. Right. Like, now it's funny. This was so long ago, I can tell you, I don't even feel embarrassed because I know I can, more hands than toes, more fingers and toes than I got is how many people that I know that this has happened to. Right. I'm open with y'all, so I don't care. I'll let y'all know.
Right.
So, I remember thinking, okay, one, do I just go to a store right now? But I don't want to go, like, walk through a store smelling like this. Like, I can never come back in this store ever again. if I go in the store right now. So
you see them people reoccurringly too. So when they catch you, just sit.
Well, I remember that dude. When that dude that smelled like a toilet. I remember that dude. So then the only thing I could think of was like thank God my girl wasn't working at the time, so I just called her. Was like, hey, I need you to stop everything you're doing, and I need drawers and a uniform. And I just remember her being like, wait, what? I'm like, just shut up. Don't ask me no questions. I need drawers and a uniform right now. Right. And I just remember just having to sit in my own terrible drawers for 20 minutes before she got it out there to me. And then I remember the rest of the day just having a smile on my face. I guess I'm a real driver now. I guess I've been through.
Got broke in.
Yeah, I guess I've been through the worst situation, man. So I know y'all had to y'all now when y'all delivering now, because both of y'all are vets like me. So I know now y'all know at the first sign of nope, that rumble wasn't right. Nope, we gotta break it off, dog. We gotta go find somewhere. I don't care if it takes me 20 minutes to go drive to the nearest bathroom. That's what we about to go do.
Man, I had a situation like that, man. I ain't never shit on myself though, but I was pretty close. It was close though, you know what I'm saying? And if it wasn't for these people, you know what I mean, coming in clutch for me.
Break it down, dog.
Yeah,
tell us what happened.
This was right at the top of the pandemic, man. Everything is closed. You know what I mean? Except CVS. I'm on the Sun City route, you know what I'm saying? So ain't really nothing out there, you know what I'm saying? But they had the CVS joint, you know what I mean? So I pull up to the house, I got a call tag or whatever. And I'm like, man, I should probably go to the bathroom first because I already feel it coming, you know what I mean? So I turn around, I go to CVS, whoop wop, come back out, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, so I pull back in front of the house, okay, I'm good. So I open up the back door because I know it's like one of them big carpet rolls, you know what I'm saying? So I go in there, man, and right when I'm in there, stomach started tripping, emergency level, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, and I'm over here with the call tag. They got me in the house, and he wants to tell me this whole story about what happened with the return and how it didn't work out, and this is the wrong product and all this shit. And I'm just sitting there sweating, I'm like, you know what I mean? I had to cut him off, yo, man, I'm sorry, man, but I gotta leave, you know what I'm saying?
Do you know how bad you gotta take a shit when you start sweating, dog?
I'm like, I gotta go, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, man, but I gotta go, you know what I'm saying? I gotta go to the bathroom, you know what I mean? Let them know. And she was like, well, where are you gonna go? You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna go back to the CVS. And she was like, oh, why don't you just go use our bathroom? Oh, man, I was so embarrassed, man, because I went and used that bathroom. I'm like, you know what? Since you insist, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, I went in there, man.
Since you insist.
Took a shit in the stranger's house, man, on the route. You know what I'm saying? And I came out that bad, and I blew it up too. It was bad, you know what I mean? And I came out I'm trying to spray in there, trying to make it all, you know, like I ain't use it or whatnot, man. I came back out, and I'm like, yo, man, I'm sorry, man. She was like, oh, stop it. We got sons. And she handed me, you want some Tums? You need some ginger ale? I'm like, oh, man, you couldn't make this more embarrassing, you know what I'm saying? But if it would, man, but they came through clutch though.
Hey, for sure.
Never seen them since.
Hey, I'd much rather would have shitted in a stranger's bathroom than on myself.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
Shout out to them people.
Yeah.
Shout out to them people.
Yeah, man, they came through, man. It was clutch, man. Straight was concerned, where you gonna go? I was like, man, there's only CVS. That's the only thing that's open. I could just go back. You know, it was a pain in the ass because it wasn't like they was close. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, man, I gotta do what I gotta do. And if I had to go all the way to CVS, I probably wouldn't have made it, you know what I'm saying? But she came through, you know what I mean?
Right. See, because it's a lot of know 3 or 4 stories of dudes busting open boxes and then taking people's stuff out of there. It's like, hey, this box got to catch this working, and we just going, this package was damaged. It was out the box. We're going to figure out something to do with it. Hey, people, listen, new drivers, check this out. If y'all have been doing routes, right, and then the trash can is gone the next day, there you go. Now you know what happened.
Keep you a tote box in there too, man, because I had to use one of them one time too, man.
What? You hit a tote box?
Tote box, dog, because my truck broke down. So I'm sitting there waiting for the mechanic. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny because y'all can't see his face right now.
You know what I'm saying?
He's so serious.
Man, serious, dog. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Because if that tote box wasn't in there, man, I probably would have had one of them. That probably have been my first shit on myself story right there. I'm sitting there waiting. I'm waiting like an hour, man. And it's like I can't walk anywhere because everything's so far. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, shit, what's gonna happen? You know what I mean? I seen one of the white ones. You know what I'm saying? The little post office ones. I was like, man, this gotta get that work, man.
Yeah, it's the enemy's box anyway.
Man. And I keep tissues in the backpack. In the backpack, came clutch. You know what I'm saying? So man, did what I had to do. The mechanic came, so I'm like, man, he definitely gonna smell this shit. He definitely gonna smell this shit. What I'm gonna do with this, man? So I like put it under the truck. You know what I'm saying? When he pulled up, I'm like, let me put this under the truck real quick. You know what I'm saying? So he came, did what he did. And then they got back cracking, you know what I'm saying? So once he left, I put it back in the back of the truck, and I just drove to like one of them dumpsters, man, and just dumped that whole shit out. You know what I'm saying? But those are my two close calls. Man. Other than that, man, I'm straight, man.
Yeah, man, it's a work hazard, man. We all go through it.
It's gonna happen.
Hey, when y'all hear this, hey, I swear to God, hey, when y'all listen to this pod, right? Do me a favor. Just ask your little homies in the building, man. Whoever is your friend or your group of people, ask them if they ever done it. Ask them their shit story. I guarantee you,
they got one.
Every single one of your homies got one.
They got one, for sure.
Guaranteed.
Sure.
Guaranteed. And if they don't, they lying to you right now. Because everybody, especially when you're a new driver, like you get put in awkward situations, man, where you don't got no choices. You don't know the area.
Right.
Like, so everybody's got them stories, man.
Right. Shit closed, or you hurry up and go to a bathroom and somebody in there. You're like, oh, shit. You got to go to the women's bathroom.
I'm king of that.
Yeah, that cool.
Hey. At least 5 times, right? And it's like a little inside joke between me and my girl. Like, I'll hit her and be like, hey, guess how many times I used the ladies' bathroom today?
Right.
She'll be like, oh, it was full, huh? I was like, yeah, I can't, you work now. You can't be bringing me shit.
Right.
And even though I got the care package in my bag, I'm not trying to use it.
Right.
All right?
Right.
So now I'll use the ladies' bathroom quick. Without hesitation.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. So last question. Okay. So I want to ask you, do you think you left an impact at UPS?
For sure.
And in what way?
Just how I carry myself, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I always look at the glass is always half full, and I hear it from other people that share their thoughts about me. You know what I'm saying? Like they always like, you know what I mean? Always like I'm a positive dude. You know what I mean? Like I never seem like I'm stressed out, or, you know what I'm saying? Or just the way that I am, you know what I'm saying? Or how I present myself. And I feel like, you know what I mean? A lot of people admire that, you know what I'm saying? And kind of like, kind of gives them motivation to kind of be the same way, you know what I'm saying? You know, especially in the stressful environment that we're in, it's like you can't be mad every day, you know what I'm saying? And you mad your whole life, you know what I'm saying? Damn, or, at least the 30 years that you put in with the company, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely feel like I left an impact, you know what I'm saying? I mean, as far as like, the people, you know what I'm saying? Like when you say UPS, I'm thinking us, you know what I'm saying? Not necessarily, But yeah, you know what I mean? Definitely feel like a lot of people vibe with me, you know what I'm saying? And they get it, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Because I want to say for sure you did. Because I had to ask you your opinion, how you felt about it. But whether you said yes or no, the answer is yeah. Because, like I told you before, like you are legit one of my OGs. And you've made, I know if you've impacted me, you've had to touch other people in there as well.
For sure.
So, just your presence being there has, made sure that the group of guys that are coming in have a good example to look at, and a high standard, man. Because there's a few of y'all in there where y'all set a really high bar of just how to come in and be professional, how to handle yourself mentally and physically at the job and all of that. And yeah, man, you definitely made tremendous impact, especially on me, man. So
I appreciate that.
You were definitely appreciated, especially in my era of driver. For sure. Well, my boy, thank you for coming through. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And we're gonna have to run this back. And then, if the lady's gonna take some extra time, you should be Mike B until she gets here.
Yeah, right.
So everybody, thank you once again for listening to this episode of The Drop Off. And until next time, we be with you soon.